Is it on? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Common Hour podcast here in AUBH. I am your host for today's episode, Tamara, and today we have a very special guest with us, Zain AlHashemi.
Hello.
How are you today, Zain?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
How's your day been?
Pretty good. Midterm season, so, got a lot going on.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. So why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, Zain?
Right. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Zain. I am a second-year computer science student right here at AUBH. And I have just recently been appointed as the vice president of the AUBH Student Council.
Yes, and you all voted for her.
Yeah. What else about me? I love to have fun. I'm also ambitious, and I need to keep myself busy at all times.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of like your role here in AUBH, being vice president,
Right.
what is your history of being like in a leadership role?
Right. So in terms of the student council, last year I was a representative as a first year, which isn't very common.
Okay.
So obviously I gained a lot of experience through that. And in terms of leadership throughout high school a lot, even not including that, I'm the oldest child.
Okay.
Especially the oldest child from like both sides of the family in terms of cousins.
Yeah.
So I feel like that in and of itself comes with a leadership role.
A boss.
Pretty much. Kind of like mini parent number one.
Yeah.
And then through high school, I was, I always want to be like the heads of like different teams that we'd have or like clubs.
Right.
And I was like the deputy secretary general for Model United Nations.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Wow.
pretty much I love doing things where, because I'm so used to being a leader at home, I want to basically commit to that role in other places. Yeah.
And that's what made you want to like run for vice president?
Pretty much. Yeah. That is like one of the reasons.
Okay. Did you want to like, is that the position you wanted?
Obviously, I was running for president.
Okay.
Right. That is the goal. But I really cannot complain about vice president at all because, you work so closely to the president.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I could not have asked for a better president to work with.
Yeah.
Me and Latifa were like, we've actually known each other since we were kids because we're pretty much family.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah. So, this is a really great dynamic duo. And I'm so glad to be working with her on this like student council for this year rather than anyone else, to be honest.
Of course, I can imagine that's more like if you're more comfortable like with her because you know her and stuff.
Exactly. And we know like even if we do have conflicts, we know we'll resolve it pretty quickly. And we have similar interests and similar goals and a purpose for what we want this year.
All right.
To be.
And speaking of goals, what plans do you have for the college?
Right. So in my speech, I actually mentioned that I really prefer the smaller activities to just brighten up our weekly routines.
Yeah.
And so things like what we already had, like a Taco Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that like basically made people have just a better week, a better day.
That was really successful.
Exactly.
So proud of you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
And then just recently we had the Think Pink Breast Cancer Awareness Day where we raised a pretty good sum of money.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so, it's things or little events that can help the students just enjoy their days a bit better rather than just going to classes and studying.
Yeah.
But also having them with a purpose, like raising awareness for, different things and raising money and basically bringing a lot more attention to student life at AUBH and what we do to have fun.
Yeah.
But also what we do to sort of make sure that this is still a learning institution. And so everything we do has a purpose.
And I think it's really nice that the students here also like support what you're doing so much, like especially with the breast cancer thing, you know what I mean, like contributing to that and like donating and buying things, knowing that the money is gonna go somewhere.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So proud of you guys, honestly. Like,
thank you.
We're so lucky to have such a successful student like council.
Right.
So early on and like
exactly only the beginning.
Yeah, like it's 19. Like how many years? 5 years? How old is the university?
How old is the university? 2019. It's 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to count. We're like, So what are you looking forward to the most being vice president?
Ooh, honestly, I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of new people, like first years, meeting a lot of freshmen through this.
Yeah.
in terms of events, I am so excited for Winter Wonderland. It was the first Winter Wonderland last year.
Yeah.
And it was so successful, and it is like the biggest, pretty much other than International Day hosted by ABH, the biggest event that Student Council themselves host, and it's open to the public. And so I'm so excited to do it again this year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you guys, is there any, because I wasn't there last year, so I don't know what things that you guys have in.
I mean, last year there was the band.
Right, you were in the band.
Yes, I was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a pretty big success.
Okay.
And then pretty much games. It's like a fair, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Games, food, and then just the vibes.
I love
are
that.
Amazing.
I think that the university like needs that, you know, so like people can like talk.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming like an AUBH tradition, I'd say. You know how each university has their little event that is just annual. Yeah. And I'm so excited that that's amazing. Especially led by Student Council.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing.
That's a huge thing for you guys. Right. It's a huge thing. Mm-hmm. I'm so proud of you guys, honestly, like doing all of these events. So why don't you tell us something surprising about you, like a fun fact?
Right. So anyone I tell this to, they get very... Actually, I don't know. A lot of the reactions vary. I'm a big Wordle fanatic.
Oh, what?
A Wordle fanatic. So, all right, for those of you who don't know, Wordle is a game that was created. And it's like you enter 5 letters to form a word, obviously.
Oh,
right.
okay.
It's the one with like the yellow boxes and the green boxes.
Yeah.
If it's yellow, the letter's in the word, not in the right position. Green, it's in the right position.
Okay.
And you just kind of guess the word.
So it's kind of like crossword puzzles, but
pretty much. And here's the thing, is that I have a whole routine.
Okay.
People know I call it's Wordle time, right? Either it's 12 a.m. or I wake up first thing in the morning. And that is the first thing I do. Wordle and New York Times. New York Times Connections. Moviedle, Global, Clatter, the New York Times mini crossword puzzle, and
I all the time
love the crossword.
I love like newspaper like crossword puzzles.
They make my day,
right?
Honestly.
I barely know any of the like things they're asking
right,
for.
But like it's so fun.
Right. It keeps you busy, distracted.
Have you played the mini?
No.
The mini's great because like when you solve it in 30 seconds, whoa!
I play it on like Apple News Plus.
Okay.
They have it on there.
That's fun.
And it's so much fun. You should you should do it.
Because
if you're into that, then you'd be so ingested in this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are some challenges you think you're gonna face
through the vice presidency?
Yeah.
We've had some things that we've faced so far is communication, but not within ourselves. I am so glad to say that the Student Council is communicating better now than ever before. And it's more like communication with the outside world. You know, when contacting vendors or contacting like places to decorate.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to sort of tell them what you want and that we are only students trying to plan this, you know, so we don't have like a crazy budget.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then there's also just meeting everyone's expectations because you never know what's going on inside other people's heads.
Of course.
Sometimes it's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they're like, we want an event once a week, and you know, I want like free pizza and like let's calm down.
Yeah, you're like
we can only do so much, and we still are students.
Yeah.
But no, like inshallah, I think the expectations will be met and exceeded for some of these events.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but like I feel like you guys are on a roll already, so like you shouldn't worry about that, you know? Because I mean, we're pretty satisfied like easily as students,
right?
Because we're so busy that like anything is like everything, like anything is everything for us.
That's
you know
very
what I mean?
True, actually.
And you're a student yourself, so you understand
exactly.
That, you know, being so busy, and then by the end of the week, you're like, oh my god, we're getting free kerek. Like that is literally fine.
Wait, that's a great idea.
We had that last year. We had like
we did. We had the brunch.
Yeah, the kerek and the sambusa, and it was so good.
I need to do that again.
Good. So we're gonna take a quick intermission, you guys, and then we'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is Karina. Just to remind you guys to follow the AUBH Student Council Instagram at AUBHSC. Make sure to message your student ID to the account in order to get accepted. Don't forget to check your emails for all of the events coming up soon. Bye!
Welcome back, you guys. We have a few more questions to ask Zain before we end this podcast. So tell us where you see yourself in 5 years.
I have not even seen myself what I'm going to have for lunch today. 5 years.
Yeah.
Where would I be in 5 years, realistically? So 5 years from now is 2028.
Oh my God.
Whoa,
I'm going to be 27.
that's crazy. Cool. So 2028.
It's a bit of a panic.
So can be graduated by then.
Hopefully
have a stable job. I see myself as someone who likes to create things.
All right.
So, and to be creative, you don't necessarily just have to be like in the arts.
Yeah.
So I'm taking computer science.
Okay.
You can do so much with that.
Of course.
And so like I want to create, like I'm very ambitious. I think I can do whatever I want to do.
Of course you can.
Right.
Yes.
I want to create like an app, something cool, something with a purpose.
Okay.
So maybe by then it'll be up and running.
Oh my God.
Or like, maybe I'll have a little team of friends and we can like all work together.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. It's very up to the future, because then again, it's hard for me to make decisions.
Of course.
So I'm very much someone who loves to see the advantages and disadvantages of different things, whether it's like going for an opportunity or deciding to like take a course. So yeah, I hope in these next 5 years that I could just improve myself in terms of my skills and, networking, obviously, especially like in the computer science field. Yeah. Networking is very important.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I was told like work, and then sleep when you're 30. Like just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I do want to just work.
Yeah.
Like I have goals that I want to achieve.
Of course,
so.
no, that's the best way to do it. It's good that you have your head in this area already. You know what I mean? As a second-year student as well, like that's usually people think about it like in their fourth year.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's amazing. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And I'll be downloading that app for sure. So, how has a failure or apparent failure set you up for later success? Or do you have any favorite failures?
Right. So I guess one of the biggest failures that I can think of, but then again, I don't like to use the word failure for it, because I think, everything happens for a reason. Whatever is meant for you is going to happen. And so I was up for the scholarship program, the Crown Prince Scholarship, and it was an amazing opportunity. Very competitive program. If you were to receive the scholarship, you were to go study abroad, all expenses paid. And so I was like, wow, like I need that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything against being here or against the universities here. Just wanted a different, like a change of environment. And, obviously like all my friends were going abroad. So I was like, I want to go with them. And I was going to end up going to like the same place as well.
Yeah.
So then when I didn't get it, I was bummed. I was like, well, there's nothing you can do about it. But the fact that I didn't get it led me here at AUBH.
Yes.
And here's the difference between AUBH pretty much and studying abroad is that the opportunities here are like much more prevalent because we're a smaller community.
Yeah.
And I was even talking to like one of my friends that studies abroad, and she was like, wow, you guys are like so close to your professors, and like even your admin, like, Dr. Bradley, he came to support like the breast cancer awareness day.
Oh, that's amazing.
Exactly. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like we do have it, like, I don't want to say better, but
Yeah, no, I know. I think I 100% agree with that. Like for last year when I was like in my first year and I wanted to start this podcast, I was like, I really want to do it because I see this university as a community where everyone helps each other. Nobody has their backs like against each other. You know what I mean? Everyone's like working for each other, with each other to help. Everyone's growing together. Pretty much. You know what I mean? Yeah. So honestly, like, that's amazing, that you can see past that failure and be like, you know what, but this is another opportunity for me. It's amazing to see that. So what has been your greatest achievement yet?
Wow. My greatest achievement, I'm gonna say this is sort of like not a benchmark, but sort of like a little checkpoint in my life. Okay. And I think it's probably this way for a lot of people, graduating high school. Because, there was no doubt that I wasn't going to graduate. Yeah. Or no doubt that I was going to graduate.
Wasn't
going to graduate English. Right. So it wasn't just that I graduated. It was that I am moving on to the next stage of my life.
A milestone.
Exactly. And, you know, seeing my family, and I was like, wow, this is great.
Oh.
And being like the first one to graduate from my family, and I was like, okay, so like, whoa.
Right.
I'm like, that's it. I'm going onto the real world, or like real world adjacent in university. And that was pretty much an achievement, because that day of itself, I gave I was one of the 5 girls who gave the graduate speech.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And, you know, I did pretty well in high school, and I think that's what led me here today, and to continue wanting to do so well in university.
Yeah.
But then also, once I graduate university, I don't want to just work around them 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're setting like an example for like your younger siblings.
Yeah.
And your cousins.
Exactly. I mean, I hope it's a good example, and I hope it's not.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, the vice president, and then you gave the speech, like, you know, they're like,
right.
they're going to be like, they're going to want to do all of that too, you know.
No pressure,
so
though.
No pressure. So what is the most memorable memory?
Yeah.
What is the most memorable memory that has shaped you to be who you are now?
Yeah. I mean, I might want to like relate it back to the graduation thing.
Okay.
Because after graduating and seeing my family, just walking off stage, I could barely see. Like, I had tears in my eyes. I don't know if they noticed. I think that just seeing how proud they were, and seeing and being just kind of relieved that, like, whoa, like, that's over.
I'm done.
That's over. I was like, wow. It felt really good.
That's beautiful.
So I just want to keep doing things, but I don't want to do the average, because, you know, graduating high school, it's like we've pretty much all done it to get here.
Of course, yeah.
But then I just want to do just a little step ahead of that. You know, I don't want to do the bare minimum.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always aim to like to have more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say like never be satisfied, but like always be satisfied to have more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just don't be
what's
greedy. Just expected.
Yeah.
Like, if you can.
Yeah.
I like to say, if you can do something, why not?
Yeah.
I love saying why not.
If you can put more on your plate, then like do it.
Pretty much.
So what is one final thought that you want to leave our listeners with?
I think it's great that we answered the question before this by saying that if you can do more, why not?
Yeah.
And so I really want to like let the people know that, you know, you don't have to do only what's expected of you. If you feel like you have the potential, and if you feel like you can, by benefiting yourself and benefiting others, that's even better.
I feel like you're telling me this.
Yeah. It's like looking out to the people. If you can, why not? But obviously, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't say you can and then just not give 100% effort into everything. Like, that's what I want to make sure for myself, is that if I commit to something, I'm sure that everything else that I do can stay the same. Because, you know, obviously being vice president, but then I also, you know, really want to take care of my grades and do well on, like, my exams. And so time management is great. And
yeah, it's very important to manage your time.
Time management is very important. Like, as much as people tell you, like, you need to know how to manage your time. Sometimes it's not something you notice. Sometimes it's just something that happens and you realize, oh, so I'm allocating a good amount of time for each thing. And so I think that's important. But yeah, back again to wrap it up, is that if you can do something, I don't see why not.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing to leave them with. I hope you guys keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Always aim high. Well, thank you so much, Zain, for being on this episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great rest of the day.
You too.
Yeah. Enjoy your lunch.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.